Have you ever wondered what it must have been like to be Jesus's mum? And to have had Jesus living inside your womb, to have had him in there sort of kicking and moving and all of that sort of stuff, how crazy that must have been. And then to have had him in your arms as a little baby and watched him grow up. Or to be his brother, where, maybe Jesus is 4 years old and you're 2 years old or whatever, but you're there and you can mess around with him and touch him. How incredible it must have been to be so close to God in that way. And here Jesus says something amazing in verse 35. He says, anyone who does God's will is my brother, my sister, my mother, is that close to me, is family to me. And that tells us that you and I, we can be family with Jesus. And the key to it is obedience. The key to it is doing the will of God. And that's something that we often talk about, and I often talk about it a lot, but I don't actually do it much. One of the things that I've been trying to do recently to help me is I've been trying to promise God regularly, I promise you, God, whatever you say, I will do it. I will obey. And I found that really helpful. It's a little bit like, if you're not very good at turning up to stuff on time. If there's someone who really wants you to be there on time and you make a promise to them, you say, I promise you, whatever happens, I promise I'll get there. Then what are you thinking all the way through the day? You're thinking, oh my word, I'll make sure I've got to get there. I'll definitely have to get there. You're always checking your watch. You're just very aware that you want to get there because you made the promise. When we make a promise to God, maybe at the start of every day or at the end of a day about the next day, and we say, I promise you I'll obey. Actually, what that can mean is all the way through the day, we might come across different issues that we we could go one of two ways over. All the way through the day, it means, no, I promised him, so I haven't really got much of a choice. I'll obey. I'll give this away, or I'll pray for that person that I don't really want to pray for because it's a bit awkward. Or I'll tell this person about Jesus. Whatever it might be, actually to promise him that we'll obey him is a really helpful step towards doing it. And the more that we do it, the more we become his friends and his family.